I rise not really in support or opposition, but in frustration. I didn't want this debate here on this floor today to be viewed as a partisan debate, because it is not a partisan debate. There is an underlying issue related to AB 2757 that's not being discussed in this debate. The author from San Diego is a passionate, righteous, and just person who's fighting for a righteous and just cause on this issue. But we have a very difficult economy in our rural communities and in agriculture. We have an economy that's under assault by climate change policy. We have an economy that's under assault by our environmental laws, our rising energy costs, our rising labor costs, and an economy that's not getting a whole lot of help from Sacramento. And I've heard a lot of folks get up and speak here this afternoon. In fact, I've even written some of the names down because I'm going to come back to you when you want to take some action to help some of the folks that are sitting up here today. In the last half a century, we've increased our water supply 1%. 1%. We've doubled the population. Is that sensible policy? Of course it's not. We've had to fallow acres when we passed a Groundwater Sustainability Act off this floor that many of you supported that cost folks work. Now, does any of that mean that we should be in opposition to folks making a decent wage? Of course it doesn't. But it does mean, and thank you to my colleague from Oakland for talking about approaching this holistically. It does mean that we need to make sure that we have the water, that we make sure that we don't have regulatory barriers to success, and make sure that our folks who are competing, not just throughout the country, but throughout the world. And it is great for those of you that represent companies like Apple and Google that can pay their employees hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, they can do those things partially because those products are being assembled by people who make dollars a day throughout the world, not dollars an hour. Well, our folks are making and competing in that same global world without those same advantages, unable to pay their employees hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And believe me, being somebody who represents a district that's almost 100% an ag economy, we'd love to see our folks make more money. That's more money that's going to be spent right at home in our family businesses, in our community. So I wanted to get up. I wasn't planning on speaking today, but I want to implore all of you, let's not just pay lip service to these folks today on this particular issue, but let's make some investments that can help the folks in some of our poorest communities, in some of the worst working conditions, in some of the worst environmental conditions, have some success and some opportunity for the future for them and their families. So I hope you'll take those things into consideration, again, not just today, but on many other important issues that, frankly, I've not seen support on this floor for.